Do you believe everything you've been told about self development? Some things may sound like truth, but look closer. Self development is filled with advice that sounds good, but is it true? Jealousy is true love. If they love you, they'll change for you. Self care needs to be expensive. Work harder, not smarter. So welcome to our new series, Mythbusters, where I'm not only fulfilling my childhood dream of becoming a detective, but also separating fact from fiction and busting myths that are keeping you from becoming your best self. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sim, and today we'll be busting productivity myths. And believe you me, majority of us have been a victim of at least one of these myths. But of course, in today's video, we'll not just be talking about myths, but I'll also be giving you a real actionable step that you can take right after you finish watching this video. So let's dive into myth number one. Myth number one that majority of us have been a victim to, which is busyness is a badge of productivity. But the truth is that contrary to popular belief, busyness does not always equate to productivity. In fact, research has actually shown that busyness really impairs our cognitive function and can actually lead to less productivity. According to a study conducted by the American Psychological Association, the chronic stress that we face by continuous busyness actually leads to increase in the cortisol levels, which affects the part of our brains responsible for executive function and memory, such as the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex. This means that constant busyness can in fact make it harder to concentrate, solve problems, and also be creative. In contrast to this, another study conducted by Harvard Business Review actually found out that giving ourselves adequate time to rest and taking breaks increases our productivity. This study highlighted that in fact employees who took shorter frequent breaks throughout the day actually reported 30% higher levels of focus and 50% higher levels of creativity. Personally, as a PhD student, a content creator, and an academic, I used to fill every hour of my day and equate it to being productive. I constantly used to shift between my research work and content creation and my time at the university, and I thought that I was being more productive. But soon I realized that the more I packed into my schedule, the more overwhelmed and anxious I became, and as a result, my productivity lessened. My creativity and content creation dwindled, and my focus on my research also weakened. But this made me learn that productivity is actually not about how much busy you are, but it's more about doing things that truly matter to you in the most effective way, while also taking care of yourself. And this is also backed by studies done in the field of positive psychology, which shows that when our brain is rested and happy, it has more power to retain information and also be creative. Resting actually allows our brain to release endorphins and dopamine, neurotransmitters which are responsible for making us stay more motivated, more focused, and more productive. Now I make sure that I take regular short breaks throughout the day, whether it's by going out for a walk or practicing any kind of mindful activity. And I've noticed that my focus and my motivation have improved overall. So now I know that true productivity in fact is about striking that balance between working towards things that align with my goals, but also giving my body the rest that it needs so that it can sustain energy and stay motivated. So now that we've touched a little bit upon resting and its relation to productivity, let's bust another myth, that is, rest or time off has to be expensive. Many people actually believe that rest means taking lavish vacations or indulging in self-care that is very expensive. But the truth is, in fact, rest can be really inexpensive and simple. In fact, research has revealed that effective rest has nothing to do with the costs associated with it. It's about allowing your mind and your body to recharge as per your needs. In fact, a study conducted by University of Sussex actually revealed that just reading for 6 minutes can reduce your stress levels by 68%. So this means that engaging in resting activities which are inexpensive and small, such as spending time with your loved ones or taking a walk in nature, can actually reduce your stress levels but also improve your overall well-being. And these small and consistent steps towards rest can actually improve your overall motivation and your productivity. Again, as a personal example, and when I'm struggling to juggle between different responsibilities, I've also felt the pressure of taking big breaks in order to feel rested. Previously for me, I used to see something like a weekend getaway or indulging in an expensive spa as a means to feel rested. But over time, I learned that rest actually didn't have to be so extravagant and big and expensive. I also found out that actually taking short, meaningful breaks throughout the day such as enjoying a few minutes of meditation or a cup of tea, made me feel more recharged than waiting for that occasional and expensive escape. Again, this is backed by research conducted in the field of positive psychology, such as the one conducted by Dr. Herbert Benson, where he has shown that engaging in a simple relaxation technique such as deep breathing actually activates your brain's relaxation response, which reduces your anxiety and improves your focus. So rest, in fact, has nothing to do with the amount of money you spend on it. In fact, it's about finding ways to take care of yourself which are sustainable and can fit into your daily life. The goal is to regularly create a space for rest so that it is accessible and consistent and is something that you can turn to feel recharged and as a result feel more productive. Now coming to the third myth which we must bust, which is multitasking helps you get more done. This is absolutely wrong and something that I can tell you by experience. Multitasking can often feel productive, but here's the truth. The human brains are not built for handling complex tasks simultaneously. In short, our brains cannot multitask. In fact, multitasking actually impacts our efficiency and can lower the quality of our work. Neuroscience shows that our brains are not capable of handling high-level multiple tasks at once. When we are multitasking, what our brain is actually doing is task switching. That means that it is rapidly shifting its attention between different tasks. Every time we switch a task, the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of our brain responsible for focus and decision making, has to recalibrate, leading to a switching cost in time and in cognitive energy. And studies conducted by the American Psychological Association found out that task switching can reduce our productivity by up to 40%. Apart from this, multitasking also takes a toll on our working memory and our processing power. In a study conducted by the University of Stanford, it was found out that people who were multitaskers performed worse on a memory and attention test as compared to people who focused on one task at a time. The constant overload of information during multitasking makes it difficult to avoid distraction and therefore reduces our quality of work. From my own experience again, I've seen firsthand how multitasking can backfire. At times, I have also tried responding to emails, looking at my research papers, while also looking at the content scripts. As a result, not only did it take me longer to complete my work, but I also had to redo certain parts of it to correct my mistakes. On the other hand, when I only focused on one task at hand, the work was of higher quality and I could easily move on to the next task without any distractions. So true productivity then lies in focusing on one task at a time with full attention. This also allows your brain to operate in a deep work mode, which increases the quality of your work, your motivation, and you're able to get more things done in lesser time. Now coming to another productivity myth, which is very commonly believed, and that is that there is a one-size-fits-all productivity plan. This is again a myth because productivity is in fact a highly individualistic concept. People have different routines, energy levels, and preferences, and according to which they can create their own productivity plans. In fact, understanding your unique needs and preferences is the key to unlock your true productivity, especially when it comes to talking about different genders. Most traditional productivity methods, such as the 9-to-5 workday, are designed around a 24-hour clock, which aligns more with the male hormonal cycle. But for people who identify as a woman, their bodies actually operate on a 28 days hormonal cycle, which affects their focus, productivity, and routines. Cycle syncing, a method popularized by Alisa Vitti, actually encourages women to align their tasks according to each of the phases of their menstrual cycle. I have also previously uploaded a specific video where I'm talking about how you can thrive on your period and how you can cycle sync your life to become a more productive version of yourself. So go have a look at it because it has a lot of tips on how you can adjust your eating habits, your movements, and your productivity hours to become a better version of yourself. And it will also bust the myth that there is no one-size-all productivity plan. As someone who also identifies as a woman, previously I used to adjust my productivity and my schedule according to the 24-hour clock, even though I was feeling pretty low on energy during certain phases of my cycle. But once I started cycle syncing, I started aligning my creative work, my deep focus work, and my resting periods according to my body's natural rhythm. As a result, I not only felt more balanced in life, but also started to become more efficient in work and enjoyed being a woman more. So the notion that there is one perfect productivity plan actually ignores the natural differences in people. But by acknowledging your own natural rhythms, whether it's your energy levels or the different phases of your cycle, cycle, you can create a productivity plan that fits your needs the best. Because true productivity again comes from understanding your body's needs and working with them and not against them. Now it's time to bust another productivity myth, which I'm sure most of us have experienced at least once in our lives, which is that success means meeting everyone else's expectations. Many people believe that actual success is achieving what others expect of them, whether it's the societal standards or the family expectations or even social media driven ideals. But the truth is that when you define success as per what others expect of you, you feel really unfulfilled in your own life. True productivity is in fact aligning your goals with what is meaningful for you and not for others. When we chase external definitions of success, such as having to work in a high status job or maintaining a certain lifestyle, we may feel more exhausted rather than feeling more fulfilled and accomplished in our own lives. This is also supported by research conducted by University of Rochester, which showed that actually chasing intrinsic goals, the ones that are driven by personal growth and relationships, leads to more satisfaction with life than chasing extrinsic goals such as fame, status, and money. Personally, in my life as well, I have faced a lot of pressure from external expectations, whether it's about creating content that was trending or always publishing journal articles for my research or being the ideal mentor for my students. And while these achievements do matter, I realized that they also made me feel really depleted and exhausted, especially when they weren't aligned with what my true passions were. But when I focused my attention towards what success actually meant for me, such as doing research that I cared about, creating content that resonated with me, and also mentoring students in a way that I felt genuine, I realized that my productivity improved and I became more fulfilled in my own life. So in short, success should be a personal definition and not something you define according to others' expectations. When you are working towards goals that actually matter to you and are aligned with your goals and values, you will automatically become more productive and live a happy life. Now coming to the last productivity myth which we need to bust, which is that you need to give your 100% all day, every day to be productive. The idea that you should give your 100% all day, every day is not just an unrealistic expectation, but is also really harmful. Naturally, human energy is designed to go through ups and downs throughout the day. But when you're forcing yourself to be at your 100% at all times, you'll actually feel more burnt out than feel more productive. Research in productivity has in fact highlighted the importance of ultradian rhythms, which is the natural cycle that governs our energy levels throughout the day. Naturally, our bodies operate in a 90-minute peak focus period, followed by a low energy period, which allows our body to recharge and get back to work. So working in alignment with this cycle, where there is a 90-minute high productivity focus period, followed by a 10 to 15-minute rest, actually boosts our productivity and makes us feel more motivated throughout. But expecting yourself to be at your 100% at all times, all day, every day, actually goes against this natural rhythm, which also leads to decrease in your productivity and overall motivation levels. Personally, like I also mentioned before, I used to pack all the hours of my day into different tasks without giving myself enough time to rest. But then I started allotting different days of the week into different responsibilities that I had, which also allowed me to take sufficient breaks in between my tasks and therefore made me feel more productive, and I could also get more stuff done. In short, again, productivity is not about being at your full capacity all day long. In fact, it's about working smarter and listening to your body's natural rhythms, and also recognizing that peak performance comes in waves. So these were some of the productivity myths that I really wanted to bust, and I hope that you enjoyed busting them along with me as well. And now moving on to my favorite part of the video, which is the next immediate step that you can take right after you finish watching this video. So for this video, I want you to take out 10-15 minutes from your day and think about which productivity myth is holding you back the most. Then I want you to answer the following questions. How is this myth showing up in your life, and what are the steps that you can take to replace this to a more truthful and sustainable approach? You can also pick an action from one of the myths that I just talked about, such as taking regular breaks every day or going out for a walk. I also have another video where I specifically talk about the different techniques that you can use to be a more productive version of you in 2025 and generally in life. So feel free to have a look at that video and implement any of the steps that resonate with you. Also, don't forget to share your progress in the comments below and let me know which productivity myth you'll be busting for yourself. And that's it for our productivity myth busting session. Thank you for watching all the way through, and please remember, when implementing something new, the goal here is progress and not perfection. If this resonated with you, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also let me know in the comments below what you really liked. I'll be reading and responding to your comments. If you have any other feedback, please feel free to drop them in the comments as well. Also, don't forget to check out the links in my description and at the end of this video for more resources and my Instagram, where I also post regularly. So let's keep debunking, keep growing, and keep learning, because sometimes the truth is the best tool for growth. I'll be thinking of you, so let me know how you go, and I'll see you in the next video.